Is that everything? I think that's everything. And my goodness, talk about the slut mog on that one. Barely wearing anything. Yep, it's the bikini in the front at least. She's got something in the back. A plate, that's what she's got. The armored bathing suit. Talk about the chainmail bikini. Shenanigans back again, and welcome to MMOMG. I finished my month in Echo of Soul, and as always, I'll be going over my final thoughts. First though, let's go over my final few days with the game. Thanks to the experience scrolls given from Battlefields, I quickly made my way to level 70. You immediately get a basic set of level 70 gear, but it's going to be obsolete very quickly. Now that you're capped on character levels, progression is all about improving your item level, known in some games as eye level or gear score. If you know where to go, and by that I mean if you saw my recent guide video, you can get your next set of gear very soon after. Getting the Dogma set then qualifies you to begin running infinite dungeons. When you finish the quest that asks you to complete 10 solo infinite dungeons, you'll get an even better set of purple gear. As a result, I upgraded my entire set 3 times in less than a day. Unfortunately, after that speedy set of upgrades comes the tried and true endgame of most MMOs, that of the grind. You have access to a handful of daily quests involving solo and party dungeons, raids, and kill quests in Hintervale. Even with the purple eye level 166 gear, Hintervale mobs deal enough damage that you'll be blowing through healing items to get the quest done in a timely manner. At level 70, you also have access to a couple of dungeons and the battlefield queue, but we'll talk about that more in a moment. Now, let's move on to my final thoughts after a month in Echo of Soul. Between dungeons, battlefields, questing, and hunting grounds, you have flexibility in leveling. Questing is sadly the slowest option of the bunch, but it does mean you can skip it if you want to speed level alts. The questing experience is linear, repetitive, and chock full of real-world references, some of which will make you groan or cringe. World design is equally constricted, with a lot of claustrophobic mini-zones spread throughout the original content. Zones get larger after level 60, though you might experience lower FPS in them as a result. Echo of Soul has a good-looking art style for its rather modest system requirements. Zones are a mixed bag. Basic terrain has a lot of ugly low-res textures, but there's a bunch of eye-catching set pieces scattered about to draw your attention. Character animation is fluid, and many of the monsters, especially in the later content, look pretty cool. Harpies seem to be way overused though, and it felt like they kept reappearing every 2 or 3 zones. If you're not currently in a guild that can run level 70 content, your endgame progression is going to be painfully slow. While you technically can queue for a handful of dungeons and raids at level 70, if you have the required item level, you better pack a lunch because those queues are mostly empty. If you do happen to get into a random dungeon, your chance of survival as a fresh 70 isn't great. You're basically going to be carried, which further incentivizes you to find a guild if you haven't done so already. If you preferred the exclusivity of early WoW's endgame, you might like what you find here. Echo of Soul has a small but dedicated player base. The vast majority of players are friendly and helpful when you encounter them, but that's sometimes few and far between. Short of the starting zones, seeing other players can be kind of rare unless a guild is actively recruiting. The reason for this seems to be that once you're at level cap, you are hanging out in Bernicia. It's set up far better than Ignia and is littered with endgame content and quests, but it's far away from any of the new players. Once you factor in that speed leveling is done in relative seclusion, and being self-sufficient is easy enough to achieve via alts, you end up with new players thinking that the game is dead. It was certainly my first impression upon entering a near-empty Ignia and discovering an equally barren marketplace. It took me 3 weeks to even catch a glimpse of the true community, and it would have probably taken much longer had I not joined a guild when I did. This is a huge detriment to the game, and I feel it could be easily fixed by simply providing incentives or reasons for level-capped players to visit or hang out at Ignia. Prior to level 70, battlefields are very enjoyable, and for the most part fair as characters are scaled to be roughly equal. If there were perhaps a few more maps for variety, I could very well imagine keeping this game installed just to play battlefields with friends. As far as endgame battlefields are concerned, your guess is as good as mine. The queues never popped, which leads me to believe most people have no interest in them. As the game also includes several arena modes and guild versus guild combat for resources in Valhalla, I imagine the majority of real endgame PvP happens there. The game's cash shop has a variety of offers: larger bags, item packs for improving gems, 30-day pets that auto-loot or have their own inventory, mounts, and more. Unfortunately, there's a lot of luck-based items in the form of mystery boxes and magic lamps that have a variety of possible prizes when opened. There's even a handful of loot wheels on the game's web store you can spin if you want to try your luck at the cost of area points, which are purchased with real money. An alternate currency exists in the form of magic eggs that you can obtain in-game, but what you can purchase with them is fairly limited. Considering the time it takes to obtain magic eggs and vivid crystals in-game, upgrading your character's gems will take considerably longer than those who purchase from the cash shop. If you want to be among the first to complete new raids or dominate endgame PvP, calling this game pay-to-win is not entirely inaccurate. It's not nearly as big of an issue if you're only looking to play casually, however. Overall, Echo of Soul is about as basic as MMORPGs can get. It offers nothing new, but everything works together well enough. The tight-knit community and importance of guilds at endgame gives off a feeling similar to vanilla-era World of Warcraft. In both gameplay and aesthetics, Echo of Soul often feels like the MMO that time forgot, which can be good or bad, depending on what you're looking for. Anyway, that does it for this episode, and for Echo of Soul. Next month, I'm rocketing into the action-packed sci-fi fantasy MMORPG known as WildStar. Join me on the Entity server, NA, or watch live Sundays through Wednesdays starting 8 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/shenanigans1930. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more MMO-related content. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys. Oh, check out the slut mog.
Oh.
I got the lingerie outfit.
I like it.
Look at that. We got do the dance. Got to do the dance.
Yeah.
There we go. looks like looks like a Victoria's Secret commercial.
It does.
Presenting Angels, Victoria's Secret collection.
that is very slutty. If you weren't purple.
Yep.
I'm joking.